Good morning everyone, welcome to a new video of Crypto Michael. Today we're going to discuss Ripple, Stellar and maybe some Ether or Bitcoin. But overall I wanted to discuss Ripple and Stellar as the momentum is there right now on these two coins. And as all of a sudden people feel the urgent need to start buying them right now. And I thought okay, if you want to buy them now, what strategy is behind your game plan? I mean, essentially if you want to take a trade, it is a trade which is based on an entry, a stop loss, TPs and just a plan in general. And if you're trading without a plan, then the likelihood of going bankrupt is severely increasing. So that's the whole point of this video, is that okay, is there actually an entry right now on XRP, or should we wait on a higher time frame retracement to actually identify new entry positions? Also, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel or like beneath, and also follow me on Instagram. Next week we're going to start with some probably twice a week a video or some live stuff about tips and tricks and sharing my own stuff in live. XRP, massive move. I've written an article on Cointelegraph yesterday as well regarding XRP. Massive move, about 75% after we flipped the previous level for support and reclaimed this support level. So through that we can state that this area here is a slightly deviation below the low. Reclaimed the level, and then we started to accelerate above the 100-day and 200-day MA. And that's the general consensus. When something breaks above the 100-day and 200-day MA, it goes in a very fast pace. So next we do have is, okay, we've had the first run, but what's next? Essentially people only understand that there is black and white. So when something runs up, they immediately start to identify every run up with the bull market of 2017 when there were no retracements. And when something goes down, it's immediately the same heavy drop as the beginning of 2018. There's also something in between, which is the start of a bull market and the start of a bear market. And in this case, the start of a bull market is still we are hopping from level to level. So what we see here is that Ripple essentially broke back above a level, did not even make a higher high since this high. So we couldn't even state that this is a bull market, but on Ethereum and Bitcoin, I start to agree we are. And essentially the trend is for Ripple that we are making a new higher high since the crash of March and new higher lows. But we are still going from range to range. We constructed a range for several months between 18.5 cents to 22.8. And now we broke through that resistance zone and we broke towards the next range high, which is in this case the level between 32 to 34 cents. So what are the levels now that you should be watching for a potential entry? Well, they are based on the levels we have previously. And we do have an intermediate level, which is the most aggressive one. And therefore we are going to make it the blue. That's the first level. And when we go on smaller time frames, you can see that it's the low around the bounce as well. So 28 cents, it's the first very aggressive level. If we hold on to there and make a small construction like we do like this, then we could be continuing, but then you can still define a nice entry zone based on the lower time frames. But that's the intermediate level. Second, we do get the range lows. And then the range lows we define as best entry zone is 22.7. Might be wicking to 21.5, so this is your best entry zone, but you can also start accumulating already between 24.5 to 25. In which case that if we reject, we get a bounce, consolidate and then go on later on. just a healthy corrective move, continuation. So that's the whole point is that essentially the same as on 18.9 cents is the flip was a support resistance flip, and these flips and these support resistance flips, essentially you'd want to become interested in a certain asset. And when Ripple was hanging around these 90-20 cents zone, I can remember that the majority of the people were still very bearish on Ripple, assuming that the price would go further down the road, as it has been doing that for the past few years. You should get rid of having these thoughts. You should be analyzing TA and TA only, and from that standpoint you can define trades and you can define how you should be profitable, or like make a strategy and adapt. So in this case you can see that we've still got a lot of liquidity beneath us, and therefore we, even if we want to have a scalp trade, the 13.9 cents level is not a level you should be longing. If you want to have a scalp entry based on the 4-hour or maybe even a 1-hour time frame, you would be looking at the lows around 28 cents. And that's already a very aggressive approach. If you want to even get a more aggressive approach and have a very scalp native strategy on this one, then maybe 29.6 is an entry. But you can see that 30.31 is not even close to an entry. And given that we are acting in a higher time frame resistance zone, given that we've got an overextended RSI and Bitcoin not acting too strong since the crash, it's very reasonable to assume that we're going to see that corrective notion and act between this new range. So the overall point is that in resistance zones, also when something starts to trend up, you should be looking for short or short hedges. And when something starts to trend up, I would classify things as short hedges, as you're mainly looking for a buy the dip approach and massively longing coins rather than shorting them. But your longs should be searched in the area between 21.5 to 23 or 25 or 28 cents. So if we go towards XRP, we get a similar construction. I'll just try to get a clean one. Yes. In which we can see that on higher time frames we've got deviation below the low. We've got a break back into this resistance zone, which is essentially now facing the resistance. Break back in the range, and we're facing resistance essentially here. Through which it seems unreasonable to expect such a breaker in one go. Effectively, if something breaks into the range and goes towards the range high in one go without retracement, it seems unlikely that we're going to break through, as people will identify this resistance as a potential take profit area. So what is next on this one? Well, finally we broke back above these 100-day and 200-day MAs, and as we have discussed with the USDT chart, the levels that you should be looking for potential entries are the levels that we are pointing out. Intermediate level, aggressive level is around 25.50. Best level is the previous range high, which is 22.38. But most likely you're going to accumulate between 23.5 and 24.5. And then we get a construction that everyone wants to see, which is consolidation, compression, and then the next breaker should likely bring us towards 38 to 4,000. Or maybe even higher, as then we are breaking out of this whole construction. So then we might be even getting already towards 47.8. Alright, that's my point about XRP right now. And then we have got XLM, and then I'm going to end this thing already. XLM BTC, crucial part was holding the 100-day and 200-day MA. We did that, as we did that according to the previous video or live stream. Consolidated at support. This was support. We consolidated. We got the whole ID right here. And we bounced back towards the next TP. I discussed this, and the second TP is this level. So in this case, you've got two TP points. One is hit. Probably you are either going to play your stop very close towards the entry right now, or close towards the level to defend yourself. or you're going to TP, so you can TP at TP2, or you keep it a little bit wider, in which case you're going to use this level as an add-on, and then you can play towards the next levels again. At this point, if we check the higher time frame, XLM is doing okay. Needs more consolidation, just like any structure here, and as long as it holds above 100 day and 200 day MA, I assume continuation is there towards 1500 sets. XLM USDT still doing fine. Really old structure of the USDT chart here, but the crucial part is that we held above 8.2 cents, and in that case we can still consolidate for a little while, just like Cardano did before we are continuing towards 14 to 14.5 cents. How to play these deep wicks? Well, essentially, if you don't have a trade yet, you're placing limit buys in this range to get filled, as it seems very unlikely that we're going to smash through it. If we do, then usually you'll get an opportunity to get out, but if something trends up, you just place limit buys and then you let it run. Alright, that's my update for today. I hope you have liked it. Please like beneath, subscribe to the channel, or follow me on Insta. Thank you and have a wonderful day.